Welcome to the Child Care Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Saccoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Child Care Director's Chair.
Hello. Good morning, my ACE leaders. Happy Friday to you. I hope that you have enjoyed this week's series on the whole leadership framework. I want to say, well, first of all, my name is Erica Saccoccio. I'm the host if this is your first time tuning in. And if it is, make sure you check out Monday through Thursday's episode because they are all connected. Today, we're going to continue our whole leadership series. And this series is helping us explore the different dimensions of leadership through the McCormick's Center for Whole Leadership Framework. And we've talked about administrative leadership and organizational leadership. And now we're diving deeper into one of the most impactful areas of leadership in early childhood education, and that is pedagogical leadership. And today's episode is called From Supervisor to Coach, the Leadership Shift that Changes Everything. And if you're a director, education coordinator, assistant director, curriculum specialist, program leader, whatever you'd like to call it, I want you to listen to this carefully because this episode may completely change the way you think about supporting your teachers. Many directors are promoted because we are exceptional teachers. We knew about child development and how to create engaging environments. You also probably understood curriculum, how to build strong relationships with families. You were reliable. You got results. So naturally, leadership seemed like the next step, right? Then something unexpected happened. You discovered that being a great teacher and being a great leader are two entirely different skill sets. And suddenly you're responsible for helping the adults grow instead of helping the children grow. And that shift can be one of the hottest transitions in leadership. And today we're going to talk about why supervision alone often falls short and why coaching creates real change. What coaching actually looks like in practice and how becoming a coaching leader can improve your teacher performance, classroom quality, and staff retention. And of course, outcomes for children. So let's dive in. Let's go with the first problem that we have with traditional supervision. How many times, let's be honest, have you walked into a classroom and observed something that needed improvement? Probably on a regular basis. You've given feedback and then came back a week later only to find out that nothing really have changed. Most directors have experienced this. You tell the teacher they need to engage with children more during circle time. You remind them to ask open-ended questions. You explain how transitions can be smoother. Maybe you suggest changes in the classroom environment. And they nod and they agree and they thank you for the feedback. And then very little changes. Why? Because supervision and coaching are not the same thing. Traditional supervision often focuses on compliance. Did they do what was expected? Did they follow the procedures? Did they meet licensing requirements? Did they complete the task? And those things matter, of course, but compliance alone really creates professional growth. Compliance answers the question, did you do it? Coaching answers the question, how can we get better? Ooh, that's a good one. One creates temporary behavior changes and the other creates lasting professional development. And there is a huge difference between the two. Most directors don't intentionally choose supervision over coaching. They're just simply overwhelmed. Think about your average day. You're handling staffing, enrollment, parents, licensing, schedules, attitudes, moods, ratios, budgets, maintenance issues, phone calls, emails, meetings, and forget about if you're in the middle of relicensing or quality improvement or accreditation or any one of the other millions of paper-ridden uh, tasks that we have to do. By the time you finally get into the classroom, you often feel pressure to fix the problem quickly. So instead of coaching, you default to directing. You tell people what to do, you give them the answers, you provide the solutions, and you move on. And the problem is that while this may solve today's issue, it does not build tomorrow's capacity. And the teachers become dependent on you for answers. And every challenge comes right back, guess to where? To your office. If you find yourself saying, they should already know this, I've told them this before, why do I keep repeating myself? You may actually be seeing the limits of supervision rather than the limitations of your staff. Because people really grow simply because someone told them what to do. People grow when they understand why, when they practice the how, and they reflect on the outcomes and receive support through the process. That, my friends, is coaching. Let's clear up a common misconception. Coaching is not being soft. Coaching is not avoiding accountability. Coaching is certainly not lowering the expectations or the standards. In fact, coaching often requires more accountability than supervision. Coaching means partnering with teachers to improve their practice. It means helping them to think critically. It means helping them to discover solutions. And it means building professional capacity. I'll give you an example. Instead of saying, you need to ask more open-ended questions, a coach might ask, what types of questions are children responding to most during group time? Instead of saying your transitions are too chaotic, a coach might ask, what do you think is causing children to disengage during transitions? Instead of giving the answers immediately, a coach creates opportunities for reflection. And reflection is where growth happens. Because people support what they create. And when teachers discover solutions themselves, they are far more likely to implement them consistently. Now, let's talk about why this matters beyond adult development. Because ultimately, everything we do should improve the outcomes for children. And when teachers become reflective practitioners, classroom quality improves. And when classroom quality improves, children's experience improve. And when children's experience improve, developmental outcomes improve. Think about the ripple effect. A coaching conversation between a director and a teacher may eventually impact dozens of children. A teacher who learns how to ask better questions creates richer language experiences. And a teacher who improves classroom management creates more learning opportunities. A teacher who becomes more intentional creates stronger child engagement. So, pedagogical leadership is not just about supporting adults. It's about improving teaching and learning throughout your entire program. Every coaching conversation is ultimately about the children. Now, let's talk about something every director is always worried about. That's retention. People often leave organizations where they feel judged, where people tend to stay where they feel supported. And there's a difference between the two. There's a difference between being evaluated and being developed. And I want to be where we develop teachers. Most educators want to grow. Most educators want to improve. And most educators want to do meaningful work. But they also want to feel safe. Safe enough to really learn. And when leaders only point out the weakness, teachers become defensive. When leaders invest in growth, teachers become engaged. Coaching creates psychological safety. And it communicates, I believe in your potential. I'm invested in your success. And we're learning together. That kind of culture improves morale, engagement, and retention. And in today's workforce, that matters more than ever. So let's make this practical. Here are 4 actions you can take immediately. Action 1, ask more questions before giving advice. Ask questions. Try. What are you noticing? What do you think is working? What challenges are you seeing? Or what have you already tried? You will learn more and your teachers will think more deeply. Second thing is observe before you correct. Spend time watching before intervening. Look for patterns, look for strengths, look for opportunities. Look for more information you gather, the more effective your coaching becomes. So start with the strengths. Every coaching conversation should begin with something the teacher is doing well. Not because you're avoiding the difficult conversation, but because strengths create confidence. And a confident teachers, well, they're more willing to tackle on growth areas. The other thing I want you to do is follow up. Coaching is not a one-time conversation, and growth happens over time. So ask, how did that strategy work? What did you notice? What would you adjust next time? Follow-up is where accountability and growth come together. Your leadership challenge this week is this. I want you to identify one teacher that you support regularly. And for 1 week, challenge yourself to coach more and direct less. Ask more questions, provide fewer immediate answers. Encourage reflection, support problem solving, and watch what happens. You may just discover that your teachers are more capable than you ever realized. And you may also discover that your role is not to have all the answers. Your role is to help others develop them. And that is what a pedagogical leadership is. And that is what coaching is. And that is how we build stronger classrooms, stronger teachers, and stronger programs. So in closing, as we wrap up today's episode, remember this. Supervision focuses on compliance, and coaching focuses on growth. Supervision asks, did you do it? And coaching asks, how can we improve it? And while both have a place in leadership, sustainability improvement happens when leaders move beyond supervision and embrace coaching. Because the goal isn't simply to manage teachers. The goal is to develop them. And when teachers grow, children benefit. And when children benefit, programs thrive. And that is the heart of pedagogical leadership. So thank you for spending part of your day with me. And if this episode challenged you in the way that you think or gave you a new perspective, please share it with another director or educational leader. And if you haven't already, please leave us a review on either Apple or Spotify, whatever your favorite listening platform is. We are so committed to elevating the field in early childhood education. So until next time, keep leading with purpose, keep growing your people, and remember to have a great day.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Child Care Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Saccoccio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.